Hold on. Marcus, you don't take your butt outside and drill that ball in the
Concrete, welcome to All Ball. Format unique, all access for all y'all. What the spiel like? Back full of elite athletes that wanna teach and it speaks to the street, so it feel right. Marcus Liberty, a legend on and off the court to give you what you need. Robert Reed is your co-host. Go. Yeah. Like and subscribe and follow like a crossover. Never know what might fall through this bitch tomorrow. So, All Ball Chicago. All Ball Chicago. All Ball Chicago. Cause all I know is All Ball Chicago. All Ball Chicago. All Ball Chicago. All Ball Chicago. All I know is All Ball Chicago.
Welcome to another edition of All Ball Chicago. I'm your co-host, Robert Bobby Reed, and I got the legend, the NBA veteran, the
I don't know what happened, Bob, but it cut off. I couldn't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Now I can hear you.
Here we go. Let me do it again then. Welcome to another edition of All Ball Chicago. I'm your co-host, Robert Bobby Reed, and I got the legend, the NBA veteran, the McDonald All-American, your host, Marcus, living in the building. What's up, Marcus?
What's up?
Woo!
What's up, my beautiful people?
My man Marcus, boy, you know I love doing that intro, boy. I ain't gonna lie, man. Like I said, my son even come up. He asked me today because we went to the zoo with one of my other guys, and his name was Marcus. He whispered over to me. He said, "Dad, is that the one you be saying? What's up, Marcus?" I said, I said that's the real Marcus in Florida. That's my boy Marcus. Right. What's up, big fella? How you doing, man?
Man, all is well, man. Just a sad day, for us basketball. The ones who played the game of basketball, man. This guy, we lost a great one, man. We lost a great one today, and I know we wanted to get on and pay, homage to him, and also just some of our listeners, man, out there to share some stories of, what he meant to them, because he definitely did that. He opened up a lot of doors for a lot of Black African-American basketball players.
Well, I want to get right into it, like, what did he mean to you? Like, you a young guy, you played on every level, man. What did he mean to you, man? Because you played in that league. You've been in that floor. How did you see him?
When you think about it, he played, he played when it was, basically, by, Caucasians, and when he got into the league, it was, a lot of racism still going on, back then. And, he stood up, and just to understand that one person can, affect, a guy like me who really didn't know him, but was hearing stories from my father, because I wasn't even born when he was playing,
Right.
But just to hear the stories of the walls that he broke down, man, to the segregation and not being able to eat in certain restaurants and couldn't go to the bathroom in certain restaurants, man, hearing that type of stories and seeing where we, of course, it's not like that as, like it was back then, but man, I could only imagine what he was going through.
It's amazing you would go right there with it, because that's the reality of it. Brothers like us, we live in a culture where we can pretty much go. Yeah, I mean, there's certain places we still can't go, but for the most part, people taking your money if you got the money. He had the money and he couldn't go there. And remember, we just talked about this story. I want to talk about that story because I thought it was funny, and then we can get into his accolades. How the mayor of Indiana gave him the key to the city, and later that night he went to a restaurant and they refused to serve him, and he drove to the mayor's house and gave him back the key to the city. That's classic Bill Russell, man.
Yeah, it is, man. And to be just for his career, man, winning 11, getting 11 rings, and people really don't talk about him as much because it wasn't as sexy as all the the players that we see in today's game, or even the guys that came like the Wilt Chamberlain. He was just a get to the job. I'm gonna do my work, and I'm out. I'm
Let me
not
stop
going.
you, Liv, real quick. Everybody always talking about, oh, he got 11 championships when it wasn't that many teams. Oh, he did it when nobody was there. Can you speak on that, Liv? Like, you got to play who in front of you, right?
Man, I mean that's the era he was in. He can't create the era and say I want more teams.
Right.
That was the era he was in, and that's what it was. He went out and dominated. He basically dominated that era, and I mean between him and Wilt Chamberlain, man, it was them two. He was always mentioning those two guys. Yes, and he was definitely a trailblazer of the game and a civil right. That civil right movement that he had, along with some great
Jim
legends.
Brown.
Yes.
Muhammad Ali, that classic picture with them sitting at the table.
Yes.
But they had to do it.
You had to.
They had to do it, man. And most of those athletes died. I mean, they died poor. And from what I understand, they just put together like $40 million or something like that for those guys to be able to get them some type of retro pay to help them out through these tough times. I know that might be a little bit off subject, but they didn't eat from their label, man.
Well, you still have people out there that still, especially Boston, when Red Auerbach gave him that position to be that head coach, put him in that position to be a player's coach, because for one, he believed in him, right? He believed in Bill Russell. He understood, that this guy, not only was he that guy on the court, but he was that guy off the court. So it mind boggles me a lot when you don't know someone and then you judge them, just like the racism that we was talking about earlier. That's where it all comes from. You don't even know people, but you already judging them because of the color of their skin. And that's what that is sad. And that's what happened, especially back in the early, 30s and 40s and 50s, man. It's crazy, So, but for him, because I know we're talking about Bill Russell, the great, the legend, the ambassador, the guy that made things happen, not just by talking it, but walking it, and that's what he was, to me, that's what he was all about. Even though I was a young guy, I appreciate the guys that came before me and laid, that foundation of what it looks like, how to take care of yourself and do this and do that. I had many conversations with him. I talked to him a couple of times, and just to tell him how much I appreciate it. I mean, he like, thank you. And he always say a little smart remark, a little joke or something, man, because he was a funny guy. But right. But to see him and what he accomplished on and off the court is remarkable, man. He would always be a legend in my eyes, no matter what someone says.
And I'm glad you went there because, a lot of times when athletes leave, they just go, and you don't hear about them. And nobody, they don't have anything that they left to keep people in their memory. And one thing we will always remember is that damn laugh, Marcus. Remember that laugh?
Oh man, and talk some trash, man. He talked trash. He talked trash, man, to Shaq and all those guys, man. Who came out there, them great centers. He tell, I'll block your shit. I'll block your shot.
Yeah.
But that's what he was. He was
right.
A rim protector. And he wasn't gonna let you just come down there and think you're gonna score.
He said he mastered how to block the shot and keep it in play and start the fast break. He said when they figured that out, we were running them suckers out of the building.
Yeah,
I was
So
reading how they got him. They traded up. They made a deal with the Ice Capade that the owner of the Ice Capade said if he had the first round draft pick. They said if you give us Russell in the draft, trade up for him, we'll let y'all have the Ice Capade free of charge in our building. They wanted him that bad, man. They was like, because he had won 2 titles coming out of college. I was reading that, and I was like, you just don't hear that stuff, man. We go straight to LeBron. We go straight to Michael. We go straight to our present memory and celebrate these guys. But we don't pay attention to the fact these guys be winning multiple titles in college. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
like, why do they stuff get swept away? Why is his stuff getting swept away? Why is he not the GOAT?
You know what? We can make an argument all the way down to, well, not all the way down, but Kareem Abdul-Jabbar the same way. I mean, he could be mentioned as, the GOAT, the greatest of all time. Bill Russell, it's not sexy, man. The things that he was doing wasn't sexy, man. He wasn't 360 dunking. He wasn't, tearing down backboards. He was blocking shots, and he was playing his role, and he played his role, well.
He was the enforcer.
But 11 championships is 11 championships. 11 rings is 11 rings.
How many in a row? 9.
I can't remember, Bob. That's something I would think.
Anybody out there got that? Jimmy Red, what's going on, man?
Jimmy Red, that's my guy from the low end, man. He's from my same neighborhood, man.
Good brother, man. Good brother, man.
Yeah. So, but yeah, University of San Francisco.
Jimmy Red got a culture from you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So man. That's
he's from University of San Francisco. Won championships, and the rest is history, man. I mean, to get him in Boston, and by all means, we know, back then how racism was. To get him in Boston,
Red Auerbach was like, we need to win games.
Yeah, and he did that, and he did that, but, and I think, and I don't know, I don't know Red Auerbach or what was his mind, or what I know he probably looked at him and said, this guy is an athlete, and I think we can win a lot of championships with this guy,
right?
As the forefront runner of my defense, because that's what he was thinking more so of defense. He said we had some offensive players. You had some offensive players. Your Bob Cousy's and you had those type of players. So he was like, if I get Bill Russell, now we in contend of some championships. And
right.
Enough, he did it, man. He did it.
Yeah, man. And kind of look like when you look at the totality of it, Liv. At first, when I was young, I was like, oh, Boston always just gonna have the best players. No, it was the fact that Red Auerbach was a mastermind at putting the team together. And he said, I saw one of the interviews, he said, I figure if I get Bill Russell to man the glass, block all those shots, we off and running.
Right.
And that's all they did. That's all they did. They brought the fast break to the NBA. People think it was the Lakers, but it wasn't. It was the Boston Celtics, because everybody else was passing it around 100 times looking for the best shot. So Shout out to that revolutionary team. Shout out to Bill Russell, man, and the way that he touched me. I never met him, but just listening to him talk and stuff like that, like a grandfather, man.
And there's a lot of articles and stories out about him and the things that he stood up for, and he basically did it his way. He didn't let nobody persuade him to go this way. He did it his way and what he believed in, and went out there and showed the world, pretty much, that I'd rather not win a championship, if I can't, be there for my brothers,
That was 100%.
And that's what, that's what he will always be remembered, not just the championships, but what he stood for.
I agree 1,000%, man. I agree 1,000%. Because he always said before, how can I be inducted into the Hall of Fame and y'all got players before me that y'all didn't put in there?
See, another perfect example, of what he was all about. Not just himself. He probably was like, I'd rather not be in the Hall of Fame if my brothers can't get in too. And it's a sad day, man, for real. Because we never think, especially when we see our icons of people that we looked up to, that they would ever leave. They would ever leave this earth. And but no, man, it is a sad day, brother. It is.
Yeah, man. We don't want nobody. We don't want him to leave.
I know we want him to be here forever, man. And I remember bumping into him at the airport, just talking to him, man. And
wow, at the airport?
Man, at the airport, just talking to him, man, about basketball, about life, and he would talk. He would talk, man, because for one, that fraternity is big, man.
Right.
And he knew that I played in the NBA, and he just talked, man, and told me because he was headed to the All-Star game, and because he goes to, and it was crazy that he would go to all of the events, until I think he started getting a little ill, and he stopped going to them. But he was going to a lot of the NBA events, the All-Star games, championship games, and giving out the trophies. And so, yeah, he would definitely be missed, man. He would definitely be missed.
Man, I tell you, man, I just think about guys like him and similar to like George Mike and all of those guys, because y'all are brotherhood, y'all fraternity. So y'all don't look at color. That's one thing about that NBA. And I'm going to tell you, man, what I love so much about the NBA, how they made, the MVP trophy named after Bill Russell. Like the NBA was progressive listening to what brothers had to say, because they were like, listen, we understand, we get it. And they were all behind whatever he stood for. Like, even though he didn't go back to Boston for many years to accept his induction, after a while, he softened his heart after they made good on that. Because he wanted them to understand that, no, it's not just about me. It's about guys like you, Marcus. It's about guys after you, Marcus. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's oh, man. Oh.
Yeah, man. I mean, think about it, man. Like that era, man, it wasn't pleasant. It wasn't pleasant, man. And he stood up. He stood up, being called, names, and you can't eat here and you can't, play basketball in certain arenas. I mean, it was crazy, man. Let's think about that, man. We can talk all day about the championships and the rings and the things that he, did, but let's talk about the things that, off the court, when, him, being mentioned with the great baseball player, Jackie Robinson, and these type of, people, I'm calling them people because they are people and human beings, right? But they were treated so bad because of the color of their skins, man. And they fought, they stood up, and I see, your boy LeBron James, Kobe Bryant was standing up for things. He wanted more, for the women, in basketball. Kobe Bryant was doing that. All of them got some kind of information from Bill Russell. I trust me and believe me on that. That's why they doing the things that they are doing off the court. So shout out to him, man, because he definitely got a piece. Everybody got a piece of him, man, that's doing things now. Guarantee you.
Man, I tell you, I'm just glad that these new guys had a chance to be around, to have a figure like that, so they can have a blueprint. Like you said, LeBron, Carmelo, Chris Paul, those guys, although they have caught a lot of flack in the way that they do things a lot of times, those guys are setting the tone for these new guys. And another thing, what these younger guys are doing, they controlling their brand. Now, I keep hearing everybody talking about, the owner's going to go back to, they're not going to be taking games off forever. The rabbit is out the bag now. Guys like Bill Russell, who paved the way for these younger guys, they get it, they got it. They're not going to let nobody take advantage of them because of what happened to their forefathers. That's
Right.
all I'm saying.
No, man, that's facts, and Dr. J, Michael Jordan, we can go on and talk about, but each one of them, I guarantee you, sat down and had a conversation with Bill Russell about what it was like, in them early years of playing basketball. And if you didn't want to know that information, then wow, shame on you, because I knew I would want that information if I had a chance to really sit down and talk to him about that. We had quick conversation. It wasn't no, man, let me ask questions about how it was back then, but because that's gonna take a lot of time, to talk about. But the legend, the NBA definitely I know gonna do a lot, in the coming years. I mean, this coming year about what just happened, losing Bill Russell. So it's gonna be a lot of things going on, man, in this NBA season coming up, and I can see a lot of names, his name being out there, a lot of awards now. Definitely.
Man, it's going to definitely be an inspirational season. And it's going to be interesting to see how they do this. Like, how's the NBA going to send Bill Russell off? Because they got to do something, man.
Yeah.
Like, they got to do like a banquet. I mean, like, one of those memorial services.
Yeah. Somebody post some of the great questions on Mr. Russell.
What'd she say?
She said,
playing in Boston was rough. You're blessed to be a member of that fraternity. Keep paying it forward. Carl G. Weaver, absolutely, man. Live. Yes,
no
sir.
doubt, Carl. But no, this was she was
Post
saying.
some of the greatest questions on Mr. Bill Russell's time. She on YouTube.
Yeah. So we got some followers. Thank you on the YouTube channel. Thank you for tuning in. But yeah, we definitely talking about the great Bill Russell today. And feel free to drop any questions, you guys want to drop. But yeah.
Is there anybody else that want to join us, man? You want to bring somebody out of the stands? We got time. Do we have time to bring somebody out of the stands that's knowledgeable about the great Bill Russell? That's why a lot of people lost some respect for Mike when he refused to step out and support Craig Hodges when they went to the White House.
Wow.
Man, that's a tough one right there, man. That's a tough one right there.
No, I get what he's saying, though. That like Bill Russell would have stood up for that, and actually, said something, that, but that is a tight rope, that a lot of people don't want to mess with,
I just read Tanya's question. She said my pop say on YouTube, I went over to YouTube. My pops say Bill Russell had the best laugh ever, and he don't sign autographs. That was his thing. He didn't sign autographs.
No, he didn't. He didn't.
That's crazy.
He did.
That's crazy.
But again, you got to think about the era he was in. Who was he signing autographs for? And that's probably why he didn't. I don't know. I'm just assuming that's why he didn't sign them. Because but it's crazy, man. It was crazy for him to be in that, and he's so tall, so he was over a lot of his peers, at the time, and dunking the ball and running the floor and getting alley-oops, and he was dribbling too, coast to coast sometime. He
was so fast, so athletic,
he was fast,
so agile, man. Just and mean.
Yeah, man.
Nasty. I remember one time, real quick. I remember when the Lakers had the Boston Celtics. They had them where they wanted them. Game 7 in LA. They had the balloons and all the programs in the seat. When the trophy ceremony came out, they were gonna say "Happy days ahead" again. They asked Bill Russell, "How did you feel about when y'all went in there and they had the programs ready for y'all to?" The Lakers was gonna finally dethrone y'all with Wilt Chamberlain, the logo, and they had Elgin Baylor. Bill Russell looked up at the camera. He said, "They're gonna have a hell of a time getting all them balloons out of here one at a time." They went out there and beat them, man. And that was a year that they supposed to dethrone. They supposed to beat Boston. They had everybody. They had Elgin Baylor, and they had the logo. So,
wow.
Yeah, man, I remember that. Man, I was watching one of his interviews. He said they're going to have a hell of a time getting all the balloons out of here one at a time.
But let's see. Let's get to some. Let's see
what's
if we
her
got some
name
more
said
questions.
on here? One of the young ladies said on here, she said, how do you feel about Bill Russell being the first player coach? Because there haven't been one since.
Say what? What was the question?
She said, how do you feel about Bill Russell being the first player's coach?
Again, it goes back to what we said earlier. Red Auerbach, believed in him. He was basically a coach out on the court anyway. So he just stepped down and gave him that title that he thought that he was the best man to take this team to a championship again, and that's one reason why, it all happened, for him, because for one, he believed in him and he knew that he was a hell of a leader. Think about it. We just mentioned about the stuff that he did off the court. Those are signs of great leaders, so he knew that he can lead that team to more championships. And that's one of the reasons why he did it. That's what I believe. Yeah. That's one of the reasons why he did it.
Well,
and Jimmy Red is right. Al was one of those great coaches, two-player coaches, I think, for the Golden State Warriors. I think. I think, don't quote me on that, but I think Jimmy Red is on to something, because that's my man, Jimmy Red.
Yeah, man, it's crazy, man. It's how this game of basketball really is a teacher of life. Like, because you can't play it forever. So the things that you learn out there are the things that'll carry you forever. 8 straight titles. Wow. 8 straight.
And y'all, when we up there talking about Steph Curry and them winning, come on, man. This Bill Russell, man.
Yeah, man. Every time he came home, they was tearing his garbage cans up and stuff. That was another story I read. He went to the doggone the chief of police.
Pull up some of those stories, man. Pull up some of those stories and read them, man.
Yeah, I was just reading. Okay, I can pull one up, but I can give it to you in summary.
Okay.
Every time he came home from a game, people was turning over his garbage, throwing it all over his yard. So he went to the chief of police and told them, hey, every time I go on the road, how is garbage all over my yard? They were like, it's raccoons. He said, okay, I want to go public and let y'all know that I'm going to be carrying a gun for those raccoons. Guess what he said? Those raccoons.
That's a great story, man. A great story.
Hey, he was a character, man. He always had the punchline for you, right?
Wow.
Yeah, man. Now, everyone knew Bill Russell didn't sign them even in his 60s and 70s, so he would rather you take a picture. He would tell you he don't sign autographs. That's real.
That's real.
Yeah. Overall, though, man, I tell you, man, I never got a chance to see him not play not one game. Everything I ever seen was highlights.
Right.
And he just moved better than everybody who was out there at that time. He was just way more athletic. At University of San Francisco, Jeff Wilson. What's up, Jeff Wilson? My man, Jeff Wilson. I got to give a shout out to my man, Jeff Wilson. That's Ben Wilson. At University of San Francisco, the coach didn't allow him to dunk. After Boston won the championship, a bunch of those racist Boston citizens broke into his house and defecated on his bed. His attitude was that sainthood. He was bigger than basketball. Was that? Oh, wow. Defecated on his bed.
Wow. That's what I said, man. He was in that era, man, where it was like crazy.
Radical.
Crazy, man. Now, I don't know if those stories are true, but.
Oh, well, yeah, they were definitely true. I've heard that. I've heard that. I've heard that. Wow, man. It's just, the stories just go on and on. And that's why we get kind of frustrated to shift gears just for a half a second. Why we get frustrated at a lot of the new generation. because they don't understand what these guys are going through, and they just blowing their money and throwing it away and doing stupidity. And these boys went through a lot to get to that. First black coach of any major sport. Now, I don't know if he was the first black coach, because remember our guy that we had on. Remember, he was the GM of the Seattle Sonics prior to them winning the championship in the late 70s, responsible for hiring Lenny Wilkins and drafting and discovered Dennis Johnson. Wow, man, y'all dropping some jewels out there, bro.
We got some basketball people, man. We got some
man, they dropping jewels.
Yeah, and Jimmy Red cleared that up too. I think Jimmy is right on this. The dunk wasn't even illegal back then, so it wasn't just San Francisco. It wasn't even illegal, because I remember even when Kareem was playing, he couldn't dunk, the basketball. So yeah, they had banned that. They said, no way, you're not going to be dunking over here.
Wow.
But okay, somebody got a question, Bob.
Let's see who we got. Y'all think the NBA or maybe the NBA TV might show his memorial service like they did Kobe's? Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, they have
absolutely,
to.
Man.
Yeah. If they don't, then shame on them. I mean, but now Bill Russell meant so much to the game. I can't see them not, doing that. Unless,
oh, they're going to make it special.
Unless his will, he didn't want that, in his will, like, just let me go peacefully, and I don't need no celebration, because that's the guy he is, though.
That's definitely the guy he is. But guess what? Now that he's not here, they're gonna celebrate him, whether he wants to or not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I'm just saying,
they do.
He was a pioneer, man. I mean, just face it. A lot of people looked up to him. A lot of people wanted to be, just like him. It would be interesting to see what Shaquille O'Neal had to say, because I know Shaquille O'Neal had many, many great conversations with him, and I'm pretty sure he's going to share them, eventually, if he haven't already shared them. I just know it's going to be a lot of people talking about him. I do know that.
Yeah, I was reading, prior to us getting on, how.
There goes somebody want to ask some questions.
Okay,
about
Ali, a little off topic. I don't know if y'all had a show since the NBA Finals, but Robert Reed was in the car saying Tatum and Brown was better than Curry. Boy, just late thoughts of words winning the title. Yeah, I did say that. I was wrong. I said it.
What did you say?
I said Tatum and Jalen was better than Clay and Curry. I said that. I absolutely said that, because I felt like they was playing at an elite level. I just felt like down the stretch, I think they tucked their tail. I think that they really had them where they wanted them, but they started falling for the three-point barrage. They tried to match them 3 for 3. Steph Curry, you playing to my style of ball, we got you. Because, man, when they was getting to the rack, they couldn't stop.
Well, and plus, man, those guys got tired of hearing, people say the Warriors can't do it. It's a new sheriff in town. It's Boston, these young guys, these young guns. Marcus Smart, they're going to lock him up. Man, come on, man. They're not going to play. They're not going for that. Steph's not going for that, And just to watch, the game and see how, I agree with you on certain things, what you just said about Tatum. Tatum, if he would have kept going to the basket and posting up and doing things to those, smaller defenders, he would have did a lot of damage, because Brown was doing his thing. Brown was still attacking.
Brown started turning that thing over in that last game.
Did you do the scouting report? He can't go left.
Right.
You watch him. He was right hand dominant. He goes right hard. So if you make him go left, now, man, come on. NBA is not. These guys got so much, technology that they, the video breaks it down and basically talks to you, tell you what they're not good at. He's not good at going left, and then you write them down. You print them off. You don't even write them down. You print it off and then you give it to the team. That's the scouting report.
I think that Boston, and my word of the day is totality. I think Boston in totality, they tried this fall. You know how them teams tried to stop running with the Lakers back in the days, and they tell you, do not run with the Lakers. That's what they want to do. Or don't try to play tough ball with Detroit Pistons. Don't fall into that. They fell back and they fell into it. And I'm going to tell you another key thing Steve Kerr did. When he sat Draymond Green's ass down and put that big fella in there, because Draymond was taking them off track with all that crazy stuff. He was trucking mugs. And that final game when he said, hey, man, I got to sit this dude down, man. You know, calm him down. So that was coaching too. But, yeah, I was wrong on that one. I was definitely wrong on that one. Shout out to Steph Curry for shutting the world up because he went bananas, man.
So, but Bob, who is your top 5 centers of all time? Your top 5 centers
that I seen with my eyeballs that I saw.
Yeah, who is your top?
That I know. Okay, I'll go in no particular order.
Right.
I'll go with Artis Gilmore.
Okay.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar that I saw with my own eyes. Artis Gilmore, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Patrick Ewing, Hakeem Olajuwon, and Shaq or David Robinson. Throw any one of them in there.
Wow.
That I saw with my own eyes. I didn't see Wilt. I didn't see the rest of them.
Right, me either. I mean, we just saw videos and highlights of them.
But I saw Jabbar, and I really didn't like Jabbar because he was beating the Sixers. Philly couldn't beat him. That hook, you know?
Right. So, Kareem had that hook shot, man.
Like Arsenal, didn't he, man?
Man.
Unstoppable.
Man, I would love to sit down and talk to him too, man. Here goes somebody got their starting 5. Let's see they starting 5. See if it matches up to yours.
Kareem, Wilt, Hakeem, David, Shaq, Ewing. About the same, with the exception of we had the same. Moses. Oh yeah. We got to throw Moses in that too.
Oh, Jimmy Red. Here goes Jimmy Red. Let's see what Jimmy Red got.
Wilt, Russell, Kareem, Gilmore, Shaq. Because you got to throw Gilmore in there. Because Artis Gilmore still had a high field goal percentage in NBA history. Because he dunked the ball every time.
Right.
Moses, Hakeem, Kareem, Shaq, Ewing. That's them good ones right there.
Yeah, man, all of them are good. Think about it. They all good
ones, man. You can't go wrong.
You're gonna always put those guys in the mix, you know, like Bill Russell, you know, those guys and Wilt Chamberlain, they gonna always be mentioned in, you know, top 2.
Right.
Yeah. So, but yeah, man, who's this? Demetrius, what he got?
It's Kareem. I mean,
Chamberlain, Russell, Jabbar, Malone, Shaq. Man, look at we got some people coming in now talking. Okay, Wilt, Russell, Kareem, Moses, Hakeem. Hey, man, woo! And then just talk about each one of them. Like, let's talk about. Oh no, just go to yours. What you said? You said Artis Gilmore. Okay, why? You know what?
I'm about the same as Ho.
Let's talk about Artis Gilmore. Because you saw him. What did he?
He was unstoppable in the paint, strong as hell. Every time he got it, he dunked it. I was just like, this dude is totally unstoppable.
So that was your guy.
And plus, Jabbar had problems with.
But look, somebody got something for you on yours. Look, listen what they say.
Gilmore is not on those guys' level. They were more versatile. Well, you know how basketball is just pro-choice, but he still got the highest field goal percentage in NBA history. So he was dominant. He never was on a great team. He never had a chance to play for a great team, did he?
I'm riding with the ones that I even didn't see, but I read about. You know, I gotta ride with Wilt and Bill Russell. You know, I got to put Kareem in there. I got to put Hakeem Olajuwon in there. And shoot, you can go with David Robinson. You can go Moses Malone for that 5th spot. I mean, we can even go back into the early days, man. Bob Lanier. Bob Lanier was a hell of a center. But whoever you pick, man, you can't go wrong. You know,
right?
Hakeem Olajuwon.
Bob Lanier.
Bob Lanier.
Rick Schmidt,
Willis Reed. We can go on and on, man. Wes Unseld,
Wes Unseld,
Patrick Ewing. I know you said
Yeah.
Patrick Ewing though.
yeah,
But yeah, we had a lot of great centers,
Bill
man.
Russell. Bill Walton.
Yeah, somebody just said that. Somebody just said Bill Walton. There you go,
You
right
gotta
there.
say Bill Walton.
A lot of people don't like him, but man, Bill Walton, you know, he
Robert
he did,
Parrish.
you know, he did some things. The Chief, yeah,
The Chief.
the Chief.
Because back then you had to have a big center. You had to have a center to win. If you ain't have a big man.
Back then, Bob, the game was played inside out. The game was played inside out. This era is not played inside out. It's played outside.
It's outside all day long.
You know, they not going inside, man. You got 7-foot centers out there shooting threes, man. That wasn't happening back in the 60s, the 70s, and the 80s, and the 90s. You know, the bigs was in the post. The post. You know, didn't even want nothing outside that free throw line.
Man, I tell you, man, it's crazy how we got a chance to see evolution. We got a chance to see that happen, and it's a beautiful thing, man.
Yeah, we remember Elvin Hayes, man.
Elvin Hayes,
the enforcer, you know, man. Daryl Dawkins. Oh, we forgot about him. Yeah, Chocolate. Thunder.
Man, Daryl Dawkins. Oh man,
Chocolate Thunder, man.
Ah. The Super Toaster Supreme. He named his dunks,
man. I like Hoop Baller Scoop, man. He be having some good questions, man.
Can Magic Johnson in our lifetime be surpassed as the best point guard ever? Who y'all top 5 point guards ever? Okay, Magic would definitely have to be number 1.
That's my number 1.
Isaiah Thomas, number 2. Let me see who ought I put in that 3 spot.
That's
Steph Curry.
Let's just have a show right today. Like we did the top 5 centers. Now let's do the top 5 guards, and then we're gonna do the top 5 shooting guards, and then we're gonna do the top 5 power forwards, and then we're missing one shooting guard. Did I say shooting guard?
Well, you know they got now combos.
Wait. What was your 5? Your 5 point guards?
Magic,
Isaiah,
Steph Curry. I don't know.
The Big O ain't in your 5?
I didn't see him play. I can only talk about people who I saw play.
Oh man,
we can only talk about people we saw.
No, we can't do, man. Yeah, man.
I ain't see the Big O, man. I didn't see
triple double, kid. Come on, man.
But I didn't see him, so you know. So I was talking about people I saw.
So
and
you
let
put
me see. And I have to go Magic, Isaiah. Shoot. I saw Steph, Allen Iverson, and shit. It's rough at the guard spot. Dude, it's rough at that spot.
Oh, Jimmy Red. Here goes Jimmy Red. Let's look at Jimmy Red.
Magic, Zeke, Stockton, Curry, Big O. Okay. Right, but Big O was like a 2 though. It was a 2, wasn't it? Oscar, Stockton, J. Kidd. I don't know why I forgot Stockton. I could throw Stockton in there.
Stockton, man.
They said Stockton was strong as hell.
Is he leading this? Is he still leading in assists?
Probably, yeah.
I mean, come on. You can't go wrong with that.
Isaiah, Big O, Dennis Johnson, Stockton. Oh yeah, Demetrius, Dennis Johnson. That's my man. DJ before he went to Boston when he was slim. But he was slim at Seattle. What that Seattle he was at?
That's what and Hoop Baller Scoop that and he doesn't get enough credit to me, John Stockton.
All-time leaders and assists
and steals. He don't get enough credit, man, and it's because he was real low key. You know, he went out quiet. He ain't on social media talking. Nobody's really talking about him, what he accomplished. This guy is in the record books, man, you know, and nobody's talking about him. I do this all the time with my campers. You know, I always say, who is the leading all-time assists and the steals guy? And they would never say his name. They never say his name. They'll come back. They'll look him up and then come back and talk about it. But they never really say his name that much, man.
Yeah, man. And I saw that on when they did the Dream Team documentary. Him and his wife got off the bus and just started walking, and nobody knew who he was. Remember, you see that on the documentary? Like, you know who this guy is? They like, oh, that's Michael Jordan. They like, that's my dad. Oh, we didn't know. Like, wow.
All right, to all of our listeners, now let's go to we talked to. Oh, wait. Dwayne got a good one. Dwayne Kevin got a good one. I like this one.
Magic, AI, Z, Tiny, Kevin Johnson. Oh yeah, Dwayne, that's a real one there, boy. That's real there. Because Tiny Archibald, I saw him. He led the league in scoring and assists that year. Remember?
Yeah. We can't forget about Earl, the Pearl Monroe, and Clyde the Clyde Frazier, baby.
Right.
I mean, come on. All right, now let's go to the wings. Let's go to the shooting guards. Let's go to the shooting guards. You gotta go to the two. Let's go to the shooting guards. Who's your top 5 shooting guards?
Well, okay, I'm gonna go with Michael, number 1.
I know you was gonna say him. You better.
Kobe, number 2.
Okay.
Dwayne Wade, number 3. Kevin Durant, number 4. He a guard. Okay, right? Ain't he a guard? And then I'm gonna go Vince Carter, man. I'm throwing Vince Carter in there.
Oh man, come on, man.
I'm throwing Vince Sanity in there, man. Who you got? MJ, Kobe, Jerry West, D Wade, Iceman.
Hey! See, I would put Iceman in that as that 3 spot, but as a 3-man. But some people, look at him like that.
He was shooting that mug. Who you picking? Who you got in that top 5, man?
Man, I got to go with Mike.
Black Cat.
I got to go with Mike, Kobe. I'm gonna go with Reggie Miller too. Reggie Miller was a bad boy, man. You can't say he wasn't a bad.
Gotta throw Reggie in there.
Reggie Miller was a bad boy.
Yeah.
And I think Kobe. I think Clyde the Glide don't get enough. Drexler.
He top 5.
I gotta throw Drexler in there too, man.
He definitely top 5.
D Wade would be, my, probably my 6th man. I can't throw him.
But they say Van Gundy and all of them say that on ESPN. Mark Jackson, all of them say Michael, Kobe, D Wade. They the best top 3 shooting guards ever. They put D Wade number 3 up under Kobe and Michael. Out of Robbins, Illinois.
I'm saying he'll my top 10 for sure. I mean, but no, man.
We've been a prisoner of our other times, right? We forgot about a lot of other guys.
I know, yeah, we did. Joe Dumars. Joe Dumars.
Right.
Let's look at some of our listeners. Michael Kelly says Michael, Kobe, Gervin, Miller, Drexler. Dwayne says
MJ,
okay,
Kobe, Drazen. Miller, Michael Ray Richardson, if he can stop.
And everybody keep forgetting about this guy here.
Mitch Richmond. Oh, it was cold, boy.
And his sidekick, the lefty, Chris Mullin. Hey,
Liv, how tall was Mitch Richmond?
He was about, I think he's about 6'5", 6'6".
Okay.
Maybe, I'll give him that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because people are like, man, he only 6'4".
He might have been 6'4", but he played bigger than that. So who is that? Is your 3 now? That small forward. Who's your top 5 on the small forwards?
Small forward. That's like Charles Barkley, Karl Malone. Is Larry Legend?
Let him say Karl Malone.
Is Larry Legend a small forward?
Karl Malone is power forward.
Yeah, power forward. Okay.
Well, we're gonna get to that next.
Power forward. Okay.
We're doing the small forward.
So LJ.
See, that's what I would put. That's what I would put Iceman. In that spot.
Bob McAdoo. I saw McAdoo. McAdoo is a small forward.
You can call him that if that's what you want.
I saw him kill with the Lakers. I saw him. He was unstoppable.
Dr. J is a small forward.
Dr. J, then we're gonna throw Dr. J in there. That's my
Yeah.
top five. My five.
Right. I know you couldn't remember all them names, man, but
It's too
know,
many of them.
I know you just gotta start thinking about some of the games you watched. Like you're not gonna throw Big James Worthy in there.
I'm throw Mark in there over here. Mark is small forward.
Mark can be a small forward or the power forward, whichever one you
Mark
want to
in
put
there,
him
my
at.
top five.
That's a good
Draws in there.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Draws was a walking bucket.
That's a good one. That's a good one. So
if Draws stay in Dallas, he become one of the all-time leading scorers in NBA history. What you think?
Now you saying Draws. A lot of people don't know him as that. So
Mark Aguirre. And Mark Aguirre.
We know him as that, but a lot of people ain't gonna
like
be
Draws. What do you mean Draws?
Right. All right. So here goes some of our listeners' threes.
Dwayne Kevin, Larry, Doc, Ice, McAdoo, Dirk, Vince. That's good right there. Vince Carter, though, I thought he was a 2.
No, he was a 3.
James Worthy, McAdoo, Dr. J. Oh, I forgot about Dominique.
See, I told you.
Oh, yeah.
I told you. Jimmy Red. Here go Jimmy Red.
Alexander, Dr. J, Barkley, Aguirre, Dirk. That was some good ones right there. Y'all remember Reggie Lewis before he passed? A monster. Oh, man.
Oh, man.
Could you imagine Reggie Lewis there with Len Bias? With Larry Legend them on their last day, they wouldn't have lost no damn games. Boston would have still been winning, wouldn't it, man?
Right, man. But you got to think of that high school team. They were all on the same team. Reggie Williams, Reggie Lewis.
Dunbar?
Yes.
Yeah.
Them guys were all on the same high school team, man. Baltimore. Wow. Dunbar, Baltimore.
That was the dominant team back then.
Yes. Passed in his prime, man. Len Bias passed away too early, too soon. Wingate
went there too, didn't he?
Yeah, David Wingate, Muggsy Bogues. Yeah. That was a hell of a team, man. High school team.
Yeah, they need to do a documentary on that school.
Yeah, they did. They got one out.
They also need to do a documentary on King.
They need to do one on King. They definitely.
They really need to do a documentary on that school, man, and the flashy coach that Cox was, and how he got stuff done. He was like the Don King of high school basketball.
Yeah,
you know. So I mean, there's certain things, man, that just got to be done, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
That would be dope, man.
Oh man, Bernard King, dude.
Oh man, Bernard King.
Frederick, my man. Thanks, dude. Man, because that's on point, man.
Rick Barry,
Bernard King.
Right.
That's why I wore the number 30 because of Bernard King, man. Come on.
Man, Bernard King, Adrian Danley, Rick Barry. It's just too many.
We can go on and on, man. This show will be we'll be on. I know we started off by paying homage to my man, the legend, Bill Russell. But here on All Ball Chicago, we move around a lot. We move a lot. We don't have no scripts. We just move around. So I think that's what makes the show, great, because you move around and you talk about different topics. And see how we jumped on the top 5 of all time in each category: small forward, point guard, centers, and we still rolling, So no doubt.
Ron asked, he said, do you think we'll ever see another 5'3" player have a long career, NBA career like Muggsy Bogues?
Yeah, I could post it up there. I see it all. I see all them comments. Man, he was tough. That's one thing about, Muggsy. You could not put that ball on the ground with Muggsy Bogues around. If you do, he going the other way with it.
Every time.
Every time, man. I remember when I first played against that cat, man, and he was with Charlotte at the time, man. And I'm like, this dude is so little. I mean, I'm coming out and I'm looking at, I'm like, he's so small. But then I was watching him. I'm like, he's lightning quick out there. You can't put the ball down. And he was strong. Mm-hmm. Strong, man.
Yeah.
So man,
Yeah, you never know, man. Like we never thought that we would see another a guy like Steph Curry. Absolutely, Ben Wilson was from Chicago. Michael LaFleur. He went to Simeon. And he was a class of 1985. He was gunned down right before his senior season. He was the number one player in the nation in the class of 1985. He never got a chance to see that. So Roy Tarpley with Dallas before drug stuff. How great would he have been? Oh man, he was better than Hot Rod Williams and all them guys, right? Roy Tarpley.
Roy Tarpley was he's what they seeing now, right? He was the guy that we seeing now, like a power forward center dribbling the ball, shooting threes, doing look away passes like magic. That's what Roy Tarpley was, man.
Wow.
And yeah, definitely. Oh man, somebody talking about my man Lloyd, Sweet Pea.
Lloyd Daniels.
Sweet Pea was definitely a Magic Johnson, balled up, like Michael Ray Richardson, and all those guys balled up into one because he was a walking bucket. Lloyd Daniels was definitely a walking bucket. That was my guy, Sweet Pea.
Well, man, I would have loved to see what happened with that guy, man. I stayed locked in just to see because I heard a lot about him. I just wanted to see. Yeah, I heard a lot about him, like he was his issues. Because where's you from, New York?
I'm gonna get Lloyd on the show. We're gonna get Lloyd on the show and let Lloyd come on. Lloyd came out of my class 1987. Actually, Lloyd was the number one high school player in the country until he dropped out of the Nike camp. So Lloyd Daniels had that ranking, that status, that he was the number one player in high school in 1987. But he didn't go. He didn't finish. The Nike, camp, and the rest is history. Who took over that. Then and then.
Right.
Dion Hoop Page. Let's see what he's talking about. Andrew Toney. Yeah, we forgot about Andrew Toney.
Ooh, that boy was a good boy. Andrew Toney used to put it up. You know what, Dion Hoops Page, that is absolutely true, man. A few months back, as a matter of fact. We don't know the details, but we definitely send our condolences to his family. He definitely died in a car accident. And, that family's faced their share tragedy.
Yeah, man. Definitely. Ben Wilson. And, yeah, his son, definitely. We heard about that, too. But, man, Ben Wilson will always be remembered in us Chicagoans' hearts because of he was that guy, that was the number one player in high school, and people looked up to him. So definitely.
Yeah, absolutely, man. But this was a good one, Liv, man. This was a good one.
Oh, yeah, we ain't finished. We got to do the power forwards, man.
Oh, okay. What we got? Who we got?
You can go with, I'm
going with Larry Legend. No particular order.
What about he was on our show? He went to Syracuse.
Derek Coleman.
Oh, you got to put DC, man.
To put DC in there, man.
I know a lot of people, don't give my man enough respect because, but DC is my dude 100.
DC
so,
he used to be handling that ball, man.
He had a lot of people.
Before his time.
He had a lot of people scared of him, man, out there. They didn't want to check him because they was afraid they was going to get crossed over.
Yeah, Joe Wall.
6'10", power forward.
He was before his time, man.
Yeah, he was. That's my dude, man. DC, my dude.
So we're gonna throw Karl Malone in there. We're gonna throw Tim Duncan in there. We're gonna throw KG in there.
There you go.
There you
go. That's a nice one there, Bob. Repeat your 5 again.
Kevin Garnett, Tim Duncan, Karl Malone, Larry Legend, and who did we just talk about?
Derek Coleman.
Wow.
That's a nice one, Bob. You came up with a good one on that one.
Nobody want none of them.
None of that.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you like this, man. And a lot of people might not like what I'm going to say, but I'm taking DC. If you put DC over there with Greg Popovich in San Antonio, the same way Timmy was, he better than Timmy, man. He better.
Right.
He can do more with the ball, man.
No, that's a nice one, man. DC
You
don't get
put
it.
DC over there with David Robinson and John Elliott and all of them, and Ginobili and all them. You put him on an organization, he win 7 championships, man. It's
KG
all
was a
about
good
your
one, too.
championship. It's all about the championship.
Kevin Garnett was a good one too that you put out there. But
Yeah, KG too.
But who will be your all-time like all-time number one power forward? Your all-time. Who would that be?
Oh man, that's gonna be tough, man. Because if we got to go with accolades, then we're gonna have to go with Larry, man.
Larry the Legend.
We gotta go with Larry, man. If we're going with accolades, he won 3 MVPs in a row.
Right.
He got what? 3 NBA championships, 3 MVPs in a row. If you were allowed to play your right position in college, where would your career have gone? You were box office, 2 and 3 skills early on. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And I just want to address that, man. This question. When I first saw Liv, like after we lost Ben, and I tell Liv this all the time. When we lost Ben Wilson and I saw Liv, I was like, God just dropped this dude out of the sky. Like, we got another 6'8" guy and he's faster and look. So it was kind of like, this is not happening. And then, when you went to Illinois, I followed you a little bit there, but they wasn't playing you in your normal position when I saw you. You was getting that mug and going in high school, bro. It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
So
no,
like
definitely.
you said, you was box office, bro.
Definitely, I agree. That, and that's why I go out and speak and talk about, what you got to look at, when you start picking a school. Does that school fit your style? Now, University of Illinois is a great institution. Academically, you can do some things and have a wonderful career after that. But I went to the University of Illinois to play basketball. Let's call it what it is, right?
Right.
But it wasn't right for me because they wanted me to play inside. And I did in high school too. I played in high school inside, but my coach also said, if you get that ball, you can push the ball up the court because I trust you, you know. And I just think, Lou Henson was, still in his old ways, man. It's my way or no way, and I have to respect that because that's his program, But I should have did my homework and said, okay, if that's what you're going to do, then I got the right to make the right choice for me, what's best for me. And I didn't do that. But that's what I'm doing now, going out speaking to kids about that. Because a lot of times they see what's look good on television, right? And it may just be that one game that looks really good. And then you go to a practice and you're like, man, why is he hollering and screaming and doing certain things to this player, man? And that's my favorite player. And or this guy's not playing his natural position. Why is he not playing his natural position? You got to look at all that, And
you know what? You said that to me one time off the record, and it was clean, so I can mention it. You said if Ben would have went to Illinois, he could have very well put Ben with his back to the basket too. Like, would we have seen the full potential of Ben Wilson at Illinois if Lou would have put him with his back to the basket? Because in high school, both of y'all was able to push the rock.
Right.
Yeah, like y'all was under Magic Johnson law. Like, damn, we got big dudes pushing the rock. So that's one of those things, man. The traditional old school coach. No, you're power forward, you're 16.
Right.
So, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's just his style. And like you say, you have to do what's best for you.
Yeah.
I wish you would have went to Syracuse or Georgetown. Hey, Jaleel Muhammad, don't you say Syracuse too loud in this one. Because he committed there.
Man, dude. DC knew it too, man. That's why I said, man, I was iron sealed and delivered, man. And it's just crazy, man. I'll have to get my book, man, when it come out and y'all read all about that.
Yeah.
Jimmy Red said, I agree. Lou made Ephraim bulk up, but he had more finesse in his game. AC Green. Oh, somebody said, okay, this they top 5. And then we'll get up out of here.
Oh, they wouldn't did. Hey, Frederick, you didn't pulled out the annals on us. He's like, let me go get the top. Well, we know AC Green was the Iron Man. That man played like 19 seasons and didn't get hurt. Cedric Maxwell, tough as nails. Otis Thorpe, oh man, tough. Sam Perkins, Spencer Haywood. I didn't see Spencer Haywood, but I read a lot. I've seen a lot about him, heard a lot about him.
Right.
Hey, Frederick Blue, good one, man. That's
that
a
was,
good one, bro.
that was, man. And we was just coming on really, to pay homage to our guy, the NBA legend, the trailblazer, Mr. Bill Russell, so that's one reason why we wanted to get on. But I know we was all over the place and we had fun with it. But in ending remarks, man, we want to send our condolences to the family. He's part of the NBA. He will always be a part of the NBA. They should do something special, maybe put a statue in every arena across, the country, even across the water. That's what he meant to, the game of basketball, Bill Russell. And I truly believe that we have definitely, somebody's put something out there, said they should change the logo. Maybe they should change the logo to Bill Russell.
I don't know how they're going to do that. He'd be blocking shots. He blocked them shots, boy. But yeah, man, I would just leave it at that, man. That was good. Well said. Man, it was good hopping on again with All Ball Chicago, man. We're going to keep bringing this gas. We're coming into the fall season. And we got basketball coming. We got high school. We got pros. We got college.
Give shout outs to the guys, man, before we get out, so we can give some love. Jimmy Red.
Jimmy Red, Frederick Blue. Let me see. Let me go on here real quick, y'all, and pull y'all up real quick.
Ron Charles, Michael Kelly, Dwayne Kevin, Carl G. Weaver. Thank you for tuning in, checking us out, man. We coming back. We're gonna come back with some fire too, man. We got a good lineup coming, soon. So make sure you check out, make sure you subscribe to our channel, YouTube channel, and also we go live on Facebook. Dwight, shout out, man. Dwight Rogers, man, appreciate you, man. King Dave Young, we appreciate you, my brother. Anybody on your end, Bob?
I don't see the tread.
Michael. I think I gave it all to everybody that was on there.
Man, this was a good one though, man.
Muhammad, Dion Hoop Page.
Dion Hoop Page, Hoop Scoop, where you from, man? You always coming out of the clear blue sky with the questions, man. We appreciate that. All y'all, man, for real.
Which one you say?
We got 78 comments in here. Dang. So you basically shouted out all the Demetrius, Dwayne, Mark, Clark. Oh yeah, man, it's a gang of people who chimed in on here today. But man, thank y'all for chiming in. Liv, we coming right back at them, man. I've been checking out that Big Three, man. I was checking it out, man.
I haven't seen it yet. I haven't watched it this year yet. So who's been killing? Who's been dominating?
Michael Beasley, man. I don't think
he's playing.
Yeah, man, he's too young.
He's still supposed to be in the league.
That's what I'm saying, man.
He's still, man, because what? Isn't he the same?
35?
Yeah, 30-something years old,
yeah,
man. Come on, man. He's supposed to be still in the league, man.
Man, he too much, man. For
that dude's too much.
That's too much, Liv. They got to get an age cap on the Big Three. But that just shows you they putting them out too soon. And that's another show we could talk about, too, how when I went to the Big Three, a lot of them guys in they, mid-30s.
But you know what, though, Bob? To Ice Cube and, whoever's else behind it, they actually still giving guys a shot, because Ordinary Joe Johnson played and then he got a contract the next year playing back in the league. So it can happen.
Yeah, but he went over there to Boston. He thought he could come back, boy. But that grind, man, because that pace of that NBA game ain't like it was ISO Joe when you played.
Yeah, but Joe's still a bad dude too, man. Joe's a bad dude. So yeah, man. But definitely. So we gotta. I was still reading some of the comments, man. It's wonderful, man. There's a lot of our listeners, man. I guess they're glad to see us back.
Man, all ball Chicago all day long. Like I said, man, I put a post up there earlier today. The greatest thing I learned about this show is meeting all these athletes and their level of resilience after they finish playing. You know, how they transition in life after that. And that's what young kids need to understand. That's what I talk to my sons about. You can
because
chase the ball all you want.
that ball is gonna stop, man.
It's going to stop. And
That
you
ball's
need to
gonna
have an exit interview like what I want to do after this. And there's a
Right.
big life after that. You've made a great life after it. So that's the
Well,
next time. And go ahead, Liz.
Definitely, let's talk about that next time because I can chime in on that a lot too. You know, I can add some.
We can make that
points.
our next topic to talk
There it
about
is.
life
There it
after
is.
basketball.
Life
man,
after
because-
basketball, man, and you need
And
to
then we
do
have
it.
to
And
keep
you need
talking about that.
and you need to do it while you're still playing basketball. Don't wait till you finish. Do it while you're playing, while you're still playing. So now you can step right on into it. You know, I had to figure it out, you know, on my own. Like, what's my passion? Really, what I want to do, you know. And
Mhm.
so it's crazy, man. But that's what happened. So yeah, Bob. So another great show, brother.
Absolutely,
great
man. Y'all
show.
swing over to my website, www.culturedevices.com, and get that device, man. The world's first social distance device, man. Your boy Bobby Reed. And make sure y'all swing over there and get some of Liv's
That Hilux, baby.
Hilux, baby.
Hilux,
You ain't got
baby.
one on side? You ain't got one on
I
top?
got it downstairs, man.
Me
but
too.
the
I'm like,
Hilux,
I ain't got my stuff here.
but
Man, we'll be
Hilux,
back
man.
this week to talk about that sometime this week. Put it together, man. We'll hop on there. Life after basketball. That's a big topic that needs to be addressed.
Man, no doubt, Bob, no doubt. And then we also need to talk about, you know, what's going to happen with this name, image, and likeness. Where's that going to go?
Rescind that.
Where is it going to head? You know, because now you got these powerhouse, you know, schools that now my man Primetime is getting some of these guys now. So yeah, let's talk
without
about
the
that
money.
too. Let's talk a little bit about that too. You know,
Let's go.
you know. But yeah, man, I appreciate you, bro, and keep doing what you do, man. All right, stay
Same to you,
safe
brother.
out there in them streets, baby.
You know it.
You know. So 1, 2, 3. Aha!
Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank y'all for watching. Chicago, oh, Chi-Town, oh, Chicago.